In ancient China, long before emperors carved their names into scrolls and walls were raised to hold back invaders, tribes fought for fertile land along rivers that seemed alive. This story comes from a time when heaven and earth still argued over who would rule whom, and to this day, generations of Chinese remember it. It was an age of hunger and fear, when crops withered under a merciless sun and rivers shrank into beds of cracked clay. With no ruler or order, the villages lived at the mercy of rival chiefs, shamans competing for the people's faith, and warlords who promised protection in exchange for obedience. But no spear nor prayer could bring back the rain. Then one night, as distant thunder rumbled in a sky that never broke, a flash cut through the stillness. Some shepherds were the first to wake, terrified when they saw a glowing shape sliding between dark clouds. The dragon did not come as a beast of fire but as a messenger. Its body was a river of golden light. Its roar shook the mountains and silenced the drums of war. For the first time in many seasons, tribes that had turned their backs on each other lifted their eyes to the same sky, afraid but secretly hoping for an answer. Among them was a man named Shun, known for walking alone between villages. He was not the strongest fighter, nor the richest herder. He was listened to because he listened first to the wind, to the language of the rivers, to the stories the land told when it cracked or bloomed. They say Shun saw the dragon first, from a lonely hilltop where he searched for signs of rain. Instead of fleeing, he stood still, feeling the earth tremble under his feet when the roar rolled over the valley like living thunder. While other chiefs gathered warriors, Shun gathered words. Where priests demanded sacrifice, he asked for canals to guide the water. Shun asked for nothing but for the earth to live again, for his people to have food, for war to lose its grip. The dragon bowed its head. The clouds tore apart, and instead of fire, there came rain. For days, the rain fell heavy, filling dry wells, washing dust from the fields, bringing color back to dying leaves. People stepped from their huts to feel the water run over sunburnt faces. Children splashed in puddles. Elders washed old altars clean, thankful not to thunder alone, but to Shun, who dared to ask for balance instead of power. When the rain stopped, tribes who once fought brought simple offerings, seeds, cloth, weapons laid down at Shun's feet. He was crowned the first emperor not by conquest, but by trust. To seal the bond between the human world and the heavens, the dragon became his emblem stitched into robes, cast in bronze, carved into the pillars that guarded palace gates. Years passed. Walls rose, palaces glowed under lantern light. Kings came and went. All claimed they carried the dragon's breath in their veins. In every ceremony, paintings retold the same moment a man before a creature not of this earth, unarmed but kneeling, asking for rain instead of flame. In battles that followed, generals marched behind banners painted with dragons, reminders that above any blade reigned the will of the sky. Not everyone accepted this new order. Some chiefs called the dragon a trick of shamans or a peasant's fable. They gathered warriors to storm the new palace. But the night before the invasion, thick clouds covered their camps. Lightning struck close to tents. Rain soaked trails, turned arrows to sticks, put out torches. By dawn, the armies were scattered. Soldiers fled back to their clans, afraid to challenge what guarded thunder and rain. As generations turned, the dragon changed from creature to idea. It appeared carved above temple gates, painted on lanterns at spring festivals. Children learned to dance like the dragon, moving in ripples of bright silk to call for good harvests and to keep misfortune away. From throne to market, soldier to farmer, China saw itself as a child of a heavenly roar. Even now, when dragons of paper sweep through the streets, some close their eyes for a heartbeat and see golden scales slicing through the clouds, remembering that the balance between people and nature must be claimed again and again. More than a monster, the dragon is a reminder that true power is not seized by force, but given when someone understands the flow of rain, the path of the wind, the voice of rivers. This is how a divided land found its first emperor. And this is why, even after empires fall, walls crumble, and scrolls fade to dust, the dragon remains alive. For as long as someone whispers this story, there will always be those who believe that in times of drought and fear, the sky might open once more, and the roar of hope will return.